No, let me just bring the stuff closer so I don't know how to use the glasses. Uh, yeah, I think I can do this.
Okay. Hello and
Okay.
warm welcome to Elumba Television. My name is Angel Lidi, and today we've got an interview session right here with us is Obianoju Ilanya, and we're looking at the hashtag NSAS protest and the ongoing investigation. What's after now? The those responsible for the Lekki shootings, will they be punished? Well, we wouldn't know, but we are hoping that as the investigation progresses, we'll see some positive report that the Nigerian youth will be happy about. Well, to talk some more on this, we've got Ilaya Obianoju, and at this point, I'd like to introduce Ilaya Obianoju, and I'll say welcome to this session, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you for
All
having
right.
me.
Mm, same here. All right. So the hashtag NSAS protest came up last month, October, and it did continue for a couple of weeks before it actually did go up to animal as oh no, don't tell me. This is happening. The signal is acting up again, people. If you just joined us, this is Elumba Television, and we've got Obiano Ju Elia right here. On the topic of discussion for today is the hashtag NSAS protest and the ongoing investigation. Will those responsible be brought to book? Will they be punished? Okay, so Obiano Ju, did you get my question before the signal acted up?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I was saying that the protest has been out for over a month, and as an individual, how do you feel about it? What's the impact on you? How has it been with you?
The protest itself it was stressful. I was really in the fall of it. I
Okay.
was really active during the protest, so it was very stressful for me. Coupled with the fact that I had good reasons to be out there protesting, so it was a period of a lot of mental stress for me and physical stress because for us that we were in Abuja, we were accosted by the police. They used tear gas and water cannons and beat us up severally. So it was really stressful for me. But beyond that, even now, the stress is not limited. Maybe, yeah, the physical stress is no longer there because I do not have to march out in the morning to go demand that our demands be met or be listened to. But you still see, I still have the mental stress of having to rehash my reality over and over again. What has happened? What is happening? Going to the panel, pleading for justice. It hasn't been easy, but we'll be managing.
Okay, you did mention that you had a reason to be at the fore of the protest. What could be
Yes, I
this
do.
reason?
In 2012, SARS took my brother, so that's enough reason to be out there. We lost him. To the best of our knowledge, he's already late, and that's why we are seeking for justice. Because of that, is the reason that also is the reason why I was at the fore of the protest, arguing, speaking out, demanding for justice to be done, and hoping that restitution be granted us who have lost our loved ones, and that stuff like that do not happen again, because that's the basic tenet of NSAS. We are asking that what has happened to each and every one of us who have been victims of SARS brutality do not happen to other Nigerians anymore. That's one of the major reasons why the NSAS protest was on.
Okay, and you said you have been going to the panel. How has it been? Has it been successful? What has the response from the panel be on your visit?
I won't, I'll be lying if I say I have a lot of hope in the panel. I don't. For most people, me too, I believe that the panel was set up just to shut us down for the moment, to calm the youths down. Oh, go back home. We are listening to you. We are doing what you asked. That's what I think. To a large extent, there are chances of it working. If given the opportunity, I think the panels would actually work. But this is Nigeria, and most often than not, independent judicial panels end up being executive panels, and they do not necessarily work. But let's hope this one works. Let's just hope. With the way things are going, it's a 50-50 chances of us getting justice for the
Hmm.
people who have been hurt by SARS. Yes.
Okay. You said the protest has been brought to a stop for the moment. Does it mean that there is likely reawakening of the protest?
Of course, yes. The protest did not stop. You see, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We're just it's like when you run and then you take some time to rest and then you continue. The Lekki massacre was some kind of stall for us to re-strategize, to plan better how we are going to take the protest now. And we are planning, we have our meetings, sit outs, discussing how we are going to do this again. We're going to be out on the street again because the 5 to 5 haven't been met. One of the things on the 5 to 5 is, first of all, the immediate release and unconditional release of all NSAS protesters. All over the country, we still see NSAS protesters that are being held in different police stations, taken to court for frivolous reasons, being kidnapped from their homes, being tracked to their different homes. We do not condone that. And because of that, we are taking our time to plan how best to work on going back to the streets. Again, we are seeking for justice for people who have already been hurt by SARS. So we are giving the time for the judicial panels to sit and make their decisions so we know how their decisions impact on what has happened, if we're really going to get justice or not. And then we'll know. That's what we'll know.
Talking about release, you remember that Eromosela was released on a 1 million bail grant. That's the condition for
Yeah.
which he was released. Do you think other Nigerians will want to hit the street again if there is to be hashtag NSAS protest too?
You know, when they say a 1 million naira bail, it doesn't mean that we have to pay 1 million naira to get this person out. It means that if the person jumps bail, the guarantors have to pay the 1 million naira. So it's no big deal. We enters protesters, we're not running away from Nigeria. We are here. We are going to hit the street again. And I think most of us will go. I think what the government do not know is that arresting NSAS protesters and trying to make a big deal out of people who ordinarily were just demanding for the basics, the right to live, the right to have a secured life, it's just making matters worse for them because it gingers us to even want to go out more, to demand for our rights to be respected. Nobody deserves to be arrested for being a part of a peaceful protest when there are no evidence to show that you conducted yourself in a bad manner or you hurt anybody. It's enough reason for us to be out there. We're not bothered about the 1 million naira bill, whatever. We're going to be out there. You can, my friend in Abuja, um, Tosin, that was arrested and taken to the Suleja prison. You remember her, Tosin, the freelance journalist.
Yeah.
She went out the next week when the vendor was shot by Femi's, uh,
Convoy.
yeah, by his security guy. She went
Mhm.
out with the vendors to protest. It doesn't deter us. It doesn't at all.
Hmm. Okay, now let's go some more. You know, the camera discovered that that's talking about the investigation, ongoing investigation now. At some point, we saw a clip of uh, former governor of Lagos State, Fashola, discovering a camera that was at the Lekki toll gate. What do you have to say about that?
Uh, I think Fashola was deliberately trying to make himself seem like a fool. And it's sad because I used to have a lot of regard and respect for the man. How do you all of a sudden discover a camcorder in a place that have been swept by a lot of people, that have been passed by a lot of people? Arise TV was there the next day covering that place live. Cleaners have come there to like do some cleaning. And all of them, none of them saw this camcorder that was locked, by the way. It wasn't open, it wasn't, and up till now, and then Fashola comes and becomes Sherlock Holmes and finds this camera. It was irritating to see, and it was downright disgusting of Fashola to do that. But what I'm asking for is, when are we going to see what is on the camco that you saw? When are we going to see it? Is it going to be a private viewing, or are we going to have to pay to go to the cinema to see it? Because, I mean, it's been weeks. He should be done with the analysis by now, and then we should see what he has on his camera. Since the Lekki CCTV cameras were no longer working, maybe Fashola's camera did work anyway. So we might be lucky with that.
Maybe Fashola's camera was
Yeah, but it's
working.
his camera,
Okay.
of course.
Now let's talk about the panel and the back and forth of, yes, the army was not called. No, I don't have the final say. That's from Lagos State Governor. I don't have the say to give the army rights to go shooting or to go to the protest ground. What do you have to say about the back and forth? Today they are saying, no, I didn't call the shots. Oh, tomorrow, Sanwo-Olu did call for backup.
I'm a firm believer that whatever the government denies is what they've done. You know, when you hear any rumor about the government, the moment they deny it, believe it, is the truth. Because it was open to everybody. 21st of October, the army was denying on their official Twitter handle that they ever went to Lekki at all. All of a sudden, they agreed that they went to Lekki, but they say, oh, they did not go with live bullets. And then the next minute, they went with live bullets, but they only used their uh, fake bullets, whatever they call it.
Bullets.
So it becomes very obvious to everybody that they are lying. Between between Sanwo-Olu and the army, I think both Sanwo-Olu, the army, the federal government, they are all involved in what happened. It's a shame that instead of simply doing the right thing, which is the disbanding SARS, which is doing what is on the 5 instead, they went the highway of killing innocent protesters. There is no need for that to happen. It was a much more easier thing for them to do, to grant our request. It was even the least thing that they could have done. Killing people or sending army to go kill people or to chase us out of Lekki was totally unfair. And coming to insult our intelligence and denying it, something that was seen live, it's the height of disrespect and disregard for human lives in Nigeria. It shows that these guys do not have even one single respect for us or for our lives. I really wish and I really hope that they do better. They do better. But I don't have much expectations from them. It's the Nigerian government. This current dispensation do not have any respect for people.
Let's quickly look at the army representative at the panel. That's talking about Brigadier General Taiwo Ahmed. You know, he's been at the forefront of the investigation, and just last week he was promoted. What do you think? Do you think he's doing so well, or he's representing the army so well that he got promoted?
But in Nigeria, they reward bad behavior. Of course, they will promote him for lying blatantly to us under oath several times, telling us that what we saw was not what is there, for being gallant enough to stand up and lie to us. Of course, they will promote him. That is why I tell you that this government do not care at all. This is somebody that should be under proof, to be explained to us how he now takes orders instead of from the army directly. He's not taking orders from Sanwo-Olu. Sanwo-Olu called him. The supermarket man, the spa owner called him. The ballet called him. Everybody calls him. He's not answerable to all these people. Instead of now holding him accountable and investigating him, they are promoting him and saying, thank you very much for killing people instead of doing your job. These are people that should be sent to Borno to take care of Boko Haram insurgents if they are so bloodthirsty. But no, they're here causing mayhem and being thanked for it.
Wow. Looking at the whole thing, I can say that you totally do not trust that the investigation will yield any positive result. Like you said, it's a 50-50
And
thing.
even if it does yield a positive result, even if the panel does the right thing, they do not have enforcing powers, you know. So it is just a wild goose chase. We're just going to let it all play out so they know we know what they know. And then when we begin to demand again, it will be in good faith. We have done what you guys asked us to do, but you have not done your own part of the deal. So we are back on the streets for that.
Just before we call it a wrap, what other suggestions would you like to give to the investigative panel? Like can you say if you would have done it this way, it would have been positive, or if you do it this way, it will be better?
Honestly, all they have been doing is fine and okay so far. I know that the LCC will keep on lying. Of course, they said their camera stopped working by 8 p.m. on the 20th, but from the clip we saw, it was working up until 8:04, which means they were obviously lying. We know that they are lying. We know that the panel will be frustrated a lot. Their plans and their everything that they do will be frustrated. I think that what I would do is just let it all play out. Use and be truthful. The first thing that the panel needs to do is to be truthful to itself. Do not be swayed by our sentiments. If the youths were wrong, by all means, please do not pander to our emotions because we are the loudest, right? I want them to be as impartial as possible. Do the right thing because posterity will judge you. For everybody that is on that panel, posterity will judge. We would hear what you have to say. You will be judged by your decisions now. In future, you'll be judged by it. I would advise, or if I were to be there, I would do the right thing, regardless of the fact that the right thing may not necessarily favor everybody and may even win me enemies. I will do the right thing. I might, I do not, like I said, they don't have enforcing powers. So they can't force the LCC to actually produce clips that they say that are not available. But really hope that like maybe if given the opportunity to actually act impartially, that they deliver a good judgment. That's what we can do at this point.
Okay, at some point, CNN did investigate and came up with so much details. From what the federal government is saying, that is in the person of Lai Mohammed, that CNN is working on fake information. What do you say about that? Who is correct, CNN or the
For a
federal?
government that have been lying through their teeth, I mean, it's Lai Mohammed for Christ's sake. Who takes him seriously? If CNN is lying, then by all means they should sue CNN. That's what they should. That they have the channels to like take actions against CNN if they think CNN is lying. But what if they are not? Now the army is agreeing that they went there with live bullets. So are the CNN still lying? Now they are agreeing that they did shoot at people, but they say it's with blanks. Are the CNN still lying? That's the thing you have to understand, that the Nigerian government lies unnecessarily, which was why we were on the streets. Four times they disbanded SARS. It's never worked out until we came out on the streets. We do not know if they're still working now, even. Maybe in the next year, we still see SARS on our streets. The Nigerian government is perfect at lying. I do not believe them. I am more inclined to believe the CNN over them. I mean, DJ Switch was live. I can't believe the Nigerian government that none of them were there. I'm sure Lai Mohammed was sleeping that day, but all of a sudden he has more information than the live that DJ Switch provided and the investigative journalists at CNN. Are we going to compare them to NTA now? Of course, I believe the CNN channels more than the entire Nigerian government and everybody in that cabinet. They lie unprovoked.
Recently, Nigerians did petition the federal government and sent petitions to UK, and the UK did tweet over this issue and debated. From the
Yeah.
debate, do you think UK will intervene at some point?
I do not think that the UK intends to intervene. What they intend to do is to sanction. Because when you say intervention, is maybe like coming to wade into our matters. Nigeria is a sovereign state. Ideally, the UK cannot just wade into our matter until it becomes precarious that they have to. But I am of the opinion, and I am very, very glad that they did sit and debate it. And I'm hoping, very, very hopeful, and I'm pleading, praying, begging that they please sanction everybody in the Buhari cabinet, including Buhari, but not just them, but also their family. Let them no longer have access to the UK. Let them stay back with us and suffer everything that they have made us suffer. There's no need for them to be rushing to go to the UK. To do what? Let them sit down comfortably with us. That's all. No more foreign medical trips for Buhari. Let him sit down and use the doctors in Nigeria. That's why we have doctors, efficient one. Chris Ngige is a doctor, can also take care of Buhari, even. Win-win.
That's really interesting. Okay, so overall, being sanctioned, and the UK has said, okay, they will sanction Nigerian leaders. Do you think this sanction will even pinch them a little?
I actually think it will pinch them a little. It will. As much as people say, oh, it is too small, but it is something. And little by little, other people will take notice of what is happening and they might also sanction. The UK now, we also wrote to other countries. They've not said anything, but they might say something soon. And we hope that it is positive. Very soon, their only resort will be maybe Dubai.
Okay.
And we
So
will see them in Dubai and we will stone them in Dubai. We will.
now let's look at this stoning issue. You did say stone. From the report I read on the army, and their report, or what they are telling the panel, the report says that they were stoned at the protest ground.
Cans of water. And they retaliated with live bullets. Let's listen to ourselves. With cans of water. At Abuja, they used water cannons on us. They used tear gas on us. We had to throw it back at them. Is that bad? You are shooting at people and people are trying to protect themselves with empty cans of water. And they want us to begin to weigh it. Those cans of water now kill people. And in all, they said only one army officer was hurt, was injured. Yeah. Nothing terrible, nothing brutal, nothing so much, just maybe a bruise, cans of water. And their retaliation was bullets, live bullets.
Being one of those at the forefront of the protest, at some point the reports did come up that those who were killed at Lekki Tollgate were missing, and nobody can account for them. How true is that?
My brother's incident happened in 2012. I want to use it as an example to you. When issues like this happen, families are very quiet. For the most part of 2012, 2013, 2014, my family was very quiet, trying to die everything down. That's the culture our parents grew up with. We grew up with the culture of hiding our pain and trying to appear strong, even when we are not. That's the culture people are born with. And in a situation whereby your child died in something as horrible as that massacre, you are seeking peace, you are seeking quietness. You want some sort of time to recollect, hold yourself in, and tell yourself that your child that you saw just this morning, your brother that you saw just this morning, is no longer alive. It's not that like it's not a dream, it's a reality. You're never going to see this person again. This is somebody who has dreams, who has clothes, who has hobbies, who has pictures that you might see tomorrow. It takes a lot of time before people begin to speak out. It takes a lot of time. It took us how many years? 7. I started speaking out in 2019. It happened in 2012. I can tell you that it's not easy. So I understand when people do not want to speak out about it. And then again, we do not know what the army had done. There might be threats to them. When I started speaking out in 2019, it wasn't easy for me too. There were threats too. People told me to sit down. You're not lucky that they did not even kill you. Your brother, 2012, you came out too late. You don't know what they will tell this family. You don't know how they've threatened them. If you listen to the panel, I see people that had issues and they wanted to press it, and they were met and offered money. And even when they accepted the money, no money was forthcoming. It was just to shut them up at that point in time. So a lot of things could have been the reasons why people are not speaking out yet. But some people are. Some people have buried their loved ones and there are pictures out there saying this person died at Lekki massacre and we are okay, we're just burying, we're leaving everything for God. You know, being religious as we are, we always want to leave everything for God. I myself no longer think that that's a feasible idea. But once people know that you're not going to take actions against them, you're going to leave it for God, they begin to take you for a ride. That's the truth. So maybe in the next few months, you begin to see families who are willing to come up. You begin to see families who are fed up with the hush talks, who are saying, it's fine even if I die. I just want justice. And maybe then you begin to see this. If there were no families that lost their loved ones, I do not think that the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital will be asking people to come and identify corpse. I mean, every corpse that is in the mortuary should already have an identity. If there are no identities, where do they come from? How did you get them? So people actually did die. It's just, are the families ready to talk about it? Are they ready to assess their feelings and be out in the open discussing it? It's not an easy thing, I can assure you. It's a lot of mental work.
Let's mention DJ Switch at this point. DJ Switch so far has gotten a lot of attention from different quarters for speaking out and for the video. The point where this whole drama started seriously was the point where she did a live coverage of the happenings at the Lekki toll gate. And DJ Switch, you and I know she is not in Nigeria at the moment because of threats. Do you think DJ Switch can come back to Nigeria and still live in Nigeria?
I think she can come back to Nigeria, but not now. It's not safe for her to come back.
Okay.
It's not safe at all. These people will go to any lengths to shut her down. These people will go to any lengths to malign her. It's not safe for her. I do not think that she should ever try coming back, at least for the next 3 years or 4. Let's see what happens. Let's see what is going to happen. For now, for her own safety and for justice to be done, she shouldn't come back. She has all the evidence. She has the video. So there is no reason why she should come back. The video would remain. We do not want them to have access to her. I don't really think that she should come back. That's the truth. For now, no. But hopefully she will come back when this dispensation goes, when we are able to achieve true democracy, if we ever will, then by all means she'll be back. She's a Nigerian.
On some social media handles, I see posts that the protest will start again, but people were saying, do not go to the roads, don't block the roads, go to the houses of these people that you are standing.
I do not want to be charged with trespassing.
That was the first one. So you would rather stay on the road?
I would rather block their offices because those are our offices. We paid for it. It's our taxpayers' money. So we can block the airports. It's our money. Yeah, we can block the road. It was built for us. Abi will not go past road. But when you go to their houses, it's not like it's bad in and of itself. But you see, what they would claim are plenty. And to be on the safe side, no.
Okay, you know the protest did bring about the palliative looting. Quickly, what would you want to say about that?
It's disappointing being a Nigerian. At that point, I knew that we were done for in this country. To think that all this while that we're on lockdown, there were foods available for people and they did not share it. It was a shameful thing to behold. People were out there falling down. There was stampede. People were killing themselves just to access packs of noodles. It's a sad thing. But it also points out the fact that to a large extent, the NSAS protest was elitist. You get? In the sense that, did you see the number of people that were out there seeking for palliatives? They were not. We cannot compare it to the number that came out for NSAS. There were a lot more people out there seeking for palliatives. That is why now we are going to meet them at their houses, at their meetings. The indigenous people, the ones that are presumably poor. I am poor myself. I'm one of the poor persons. If I'm meeting my kind and I'm talking to them and I'm explaining to them the reason why we need them to march with us. Because if we do not harness them to become a part of us, they'll still be used as tools to fight us and infiltrate us. Do you get? So we are now doing some sort of sensitization and awareness at the grassroots level, trying to make people join us. We will get them. The next NSAS movement, it will not just be ending SARS, we'll be ending bad governance in Nigeria. We'll be demanding for a lot more. So it's better for them to give us what we want. It's to their interest that they actually give us what we want.
Okay, talking about going to the grassroots to sensitize people, How about the far north, the far east, the south, and west? You know, there are villages where people don't even know what's happening. Do you think the sensitization will get to this level, those people, and do you think it will also uh, come up with positive results? As some
We are
will
going
be
to assess, okay. We're going to assess all those places. When the NSAS protest started, it happened in different parts of the country, even in Kano. And right now, the north is burning. They are killing them. Bandits, support terrorists being labeled as bandits. That's one of the problems we have in Nigeria. This mislabeling we do. Terrorists are being labeled as bandits, as herdsmen. They're not herdsmen. They're not bandits. These are killers. These are terrorists, and they are killing them. We are assessing them. We are talking to our links and our people there. We are talking to them to talk to these people to join us in the protest. We know that all these things are important. Even in the East, I'm in the East right now, and I've talked to a lot of people, and I'm like, okay, we didn't even know why you guys are protesting before. And it's important that they know why we are protesting so that they join us. We're not scared. We know what we need to do. Like I said, we need them more than they need us. At this point, we need them because when the uprising starts, we are the most accessible to them. Did you hear me? I said, when the uprising starts, we are the most accessible to them. It is us that they will come to first. So that is why we need them to work with us, to demand for better from the government. And we'll be able to do that soon.
Let's also talk about the IG of police. Recently did say that he would not condone any form of protest.
We are in a democracy.
Okay.
We do not care what he wants to condone or not. Nobody cares what he thinks he can condone or not. He works for us. When we are ready, he will condone everything. In 2011, after Goodluck Jonathan won the elections, Buhari marched on the streets with lots of people. There was occupying Nigeria. There was transformation, whatever, whatever. There were a lot of people on the street. And the IG did not dare say he wouldn't condone. Who is Adamo to say that? When does it become more important that the constitution that created his office for him? We're not scared. We're not worried. We might actually go to his house so he will have easy access to kill us if he so desires. It's not like he condoned the NSAS protest. The police were out there shooting at us, treating us like we are animals. So he didn't even condone the NSAS protest. Let him not act brand new. We know him. We are preparing for him too.
Wow. And one last question.
Okay.
Now we know the IG is not in terms with the protest or with what Nigerian youth are doing. Like he said, he will not condone any protest, and we know better. At some point, we would be asking for permission to protest. So does it mean that if you do not get permission, you still hit the street?
We will get the permission when we need it.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
then I ask, how many people will the police kill? How many? 1 million, 2 million. I hope they have enough bullets because they'll be killing a lot.
That means the second hashtag NSAS protest will be massive.
Yeah, it will. We intend to do a proper 10 million man march, so we are ready. We are preparing. The only thing that will stop the NSAS protest from starting again is if the right thing is done. I advise that they do the right thing.
Okay, and the panel is currently on investigating, and we do not know how far they would go and what will be the result of what the panel is investigating about. So,
Or if they would even enforce their recommendations, which is very important. They should enforce the recommendations of the panels.
okay. Wow, it's been awesome having you, honestly. I will say I really do appreciate you, and Elumba Television do appreciate you for coming around and taking your time to answer those questions on the hashtag NSAS protest. We are grateful.
Thank you for having me.
I
Thank you so
wouldn't know
much.
if there will be more questions from. Let me take a look at our participants. If we can have one question. Anybody wants to ask Obianuju Iloya a question before we end this? Okay. Since there is no question, this is what we'll call it a wrap. And once again, thank you so much for coming around. We
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
for having me. Yeah. Have a good day.
And have yourself a pleasant day as well.
All right. Bye.